I overdosed in a car with the needle still in my arm in the parking lot of a hospital because my best friend just died. A stranger walks by, just happens to have Narcan on him, opens the door that happens to be unlocked, hits me with Narcan, gets me back to life, walks away without saying a word, and I try talking to him, and he just turns around, smiles, and just keeps walking. Whether you say that's coincidence, whether you say things happen for a reason, whatever the case may be, I believe that the moment that I do let go and finally have an open mind that there might be something, even more starts coming.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Journey to Solutions podcast, where we interview people from all walks of life who overcome the impossible. We shine light on one simple truth: no matter your past, no matter your pain, with the power of God, anything is possible. And today's special guest, we have the person who is the co-host of the Wild Ride podcast with Steve-O. He's had multiple TV shows. He's such an amazing person who's overcome addiction, trauma, mental health, and just loves people. He is an example that whatever you want in life, if you can believe it, you can achieve it. And there's going to be so much wisdom in this, because I think a lot of people are told to, calm that imagination down. Don't have a childlike spirit. You got to grow up. You got to be this. You got to be that. And they just kill your dreams and kill your spirits. And the person today is going to let you know that, hey, this is what I wanted when I was a child. And guess what? Now I'm doing it and I'm living it. So guys, please open up your ears, open up your heart, and open up your soul, because this is going to be a powerful episode. So I want to introduce Skinny Vinny.
Dude, thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah.
I love that you said keeping your inner child, because I feel like my inner child would be so stoked on where I am, and if I lost that inner child, I don't think I would be anywhere near as successful as I am today.
What do you think it was for you? Because I think a lot of people, we all have this inner child, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some of us, feel like we need to grow up.
Yeah.
Or maybe, we need to change the way that we're living or doing things.
Yeah.
For you, what do you think it was for you that you're able to kind of like protect that inner child, like part of you, to kind of carry it into your adulthood?
That's a good question. I feel like because I was so young when drugs and alcohol came into the picture, my inner child and the dreams and ambitions kind of were masked by the drugs and alcohol and that lifestyle, right? And when finally getting sober at age 30, the child and the dreams and the passion kind of came out again, So it was like I was reminded by, cause I had some really cool opportunities fall in my lap when I first got sober, and it kind of reminded me of like, oh shit, this is what I used to love to do. This feels familiar. Let me continue doing this. And it was like, honestly, that was what was keeping me sober at first, because I still had no higher power. I still wasn't working a program. I still wasn't doing shit. I was just doing what I love to do. And I've heard this multiple times. The age that you start doing drugs and alcohol is the age that you stop growing.
And how old are you when you started?
15.
Okay.
So it's like I'm like 38 years old, and I have like the brain of like a 20-year-old, so it's like that inner child is still in me. And it's really it just boils down to like, the reason why we get sober and want to change our lives is we want to have a fun life. Like, I think that was the reason I was so scared to get sober at first, because I was like, if I'm going to be miserable and sober, I might as well be miserable and high.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, never in a million years did I think that this life would just come to me, and the moment I just let go of my own steering wheel and let somebody steer it for a little bit, But I think it's very important to have that inner child flourish at all times, because it's like, ultimately, dude, I just want to have fun. That's it. And I think that's why, you know, I think it's important to love what you do and just have fun with what you do because it's very transparent. Whether it, like for me, it's content creating, right? It's like making people laugh, making entertainment for people. It's transparent on camera that I really love what I do, and people see that. So that's why it's successful. It's just like Jackass, right? Like the reason I believe it was so successful is because the camaraderie. They literally loved what they did. They enjoyed what they did, and they did it together as a group of friends. I think that was the reason why it was so successful, because everybody could relate to it. Everybody just wanted to do dumb stuff with their buddies and have fun.
Because we were all doing it.
Exactly.
We just didn't know we could get popular for it or paid for it, make a living.
Exactly. You know, and especially at that time when, because, you know, before Jackass, there were like stunt crews trying to make it big, but Jackass was the crew that really popped off, you know? And yeah, I think I'm going to be a child until I fucking die, you know, like I have to be.
So let me ask you this. Let's say there's a lot of people right now that are listening and they're like, I mean, now is what everyone wants to be a YouTuber, content creator, right? It's kind of in your face now as a kid, right? And, you know, I think nowadays there is a right way to go about it, and there can be maybe an unsafe way to go about it or unhealthy way to go about it. What did you do to make sure that like you were going about this childlike lifestyle, this creative style in a safe way where, for example, I remember growing up, it'd be like, everyone wants to be a rapper.
Yeah.
Cool. And maybe
including me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and you know, you have people that are good,
Yeah.
right? Okay, cool. Freestyle, whatever. But then you always have those people that are like, I want to be a rapper, but all they do is do drugs, smoke weed. Their mixtape's coming out always next year. It never comes out, and they're just partying.
Yeah.
And some people might go, oh, okay, that's what I got to do then. I just party, do drugs,
Yeah.
and I'm going to be a rock star. Like for you, what did you do to make sure that like you would go the right path to be able to actually create this life? Because I think sometimes people are going in a delusional way.
Yeah.
And there's also, it's kind of still a business.
Yeah. Another good question. I feel like, you know, when all these opportunities started coming, I was so hungry for it, right? And I would go above and beyond, and it was 100% me. I'd give it my all, right? And I feel like to be successful in anything, you have to be obsessed with that, whatever that is, right? And I feel like that's a big reason why, you know, like, let's be real, like 7 years ago, I had nothing. I was a nobody. Like I was homeless.
You know, right?
Yeah, I was super homeless. Like, and I was so hungry for this, and I was obsessed with it, and it's all I cared about, and it's all I did. But then for me, I'm not young. I'm coming up to 40, and I'm kind of playing catch up with life, right? Financially, eventually, like, you know, like all my other friends that are 40 or have homes and careers and kids, and I'm out here trying to get famous in Hollywood with no money, right? Yeah. So part of me, you know, after going so hard and kind of making a name, I start thinking, I'm like, fuck, dude, I don't want to be 60 years old checking receipts at Walmart, right? So I need to have some sort of backup. And that's where working in treatment and doing all that. So it's like I have the entertainment side of my life where I make money, but we both know at the entertainment industry, it's hit or miss. Yeah. You could work for 3 months and not work for 6 months. Yeah. And you know, it's not a secure thing.
So right now what I'm hearing is you're going after your dreams from a creative standpoint, but you're also being realistic by working like a job, at a part-time job or full-time job in treatment. Yeah. So you have some money coming in. Yeah. You got to make a living.
Got to pay the bills.
Got to pay the bills.
Right? I got to save for my future.
Okay.
Because also in entertainment, you don't have a 401k. Yeah. You don't have a retirement fund. No. You know what I mean? So it's up to us to save the money. And I'm not the best because I'm very irresponsible when it comes to money, you know? So so it's up to us to save that money. So I always had it in the back of my head that, okay, I need a plan B. I need a backup just in case. I think it was my mother who taught me to always have a plan B, because she would always say shit happens, right? You need to have some sort of backup just in case shit happens. But the other part of me was like, fuck, I want to go this way with entertainment. I want to go all in. But there was a lot of fear because I've had friends that have and are still doing it, that are just all in entertainment, but they're having trouble paying their car bill or having trouble paying rent.
So right now you're seeing people with the all-in mindset,
Yeah.
which does work for some people,
It
right?
does. It
Sorry.
does. Yeah.
But you're seeing like the struggle for some people that you're like, oof.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
know, and that scares me. I don't want to be that person. So I say 50% of my life goes to the realistic stuff, and the other 50% goes to the entertainment, which I think it's worked pretty good. You know, I've still been given all these opportunities that I've busted my ass for, and I've had decent projects and stuff, and with the podcast with Steve-O, and when I'm not doing that, I'm working in a real job, you know, and it's a weird life. You know, one day I'll be on tour with Steve-O traveling the world, and then I come back and I'm working a 9 to 5.
So,
you know?
And what's interesting about that too is, so what I'm hearing is, even when you're working with Steve-O, because optics might seem like Vinny's probably making $10 million a year with Steve-O, right? Like it's so easy, he's making all the money. But you're saying, no, I'm still doing the Steve-O stuff, but I'm also still working in treatment.
Yeah, because I know, and you know just as well, living in Southern California, it's not cheap. It's like not cheap to live here. Like life is expensive here.
Yeah, you got to be making, like, if you're like a single person, like make $200,000 a year minimum if you want
to be okay.
Be okay.
Yeah,
to be okay.
To be okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like last year was the most money I ever made in my life, and it was a decent figure. I'm still like, okay, I need to make sure I'm good for next year. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's crazy to think. And then it's like, we could move to fucking New Jersey, Southern New Jersey. I could live like a fucking king.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I feel like I have way more to achieve here in LA before I go and do that.
Yeah. I remember when I was living in Bali, it was like, you get like you can have like a 2-story, 5-bedroom house, infinity pool for like $300 a month.
Yeah, bro.
You know,
so it's like, you know, I think that the healthy way to answer your question, I think the healthy way to go about it is just balance. But if you're willing to take sacrifices, you know, it's like I think taking sacrifices is important to being successful. You know, I think, but I just was like, I've made plenty of sacrifices, right? But I also like, okay, just in case, like I just in case shit happens, I need to have some sort of backup. And I think I've done pretty well with the whole doing this crazy shit and then doing the 9 to 5 and then kind of combining the two, right? Because I've been given this platform with the podcast or whatever the case may be, and now I have the potential to reach a lot of people in the recovery world that struggle with the same shit that I do. You know, so I've kind of been able to mesh it into like, oh, if I could do it, you can do it kind of thing.
And it's cool too, because I think people that suffer with addiction, they look up to people, right, with time.
Yeah.
But it doesn't hurt when you're kind of seen as like a sober celebrity in their eyes, right?
Yeah.
Not saying from an egotistical standpoint.
For sure.
But
yeah.
It gives us the ability to reach more people, because people will trust us for that. Like, oh my gosh, you're on Steve-O's thing. Like, okay, what did you do to stay sober?
Exactly.
And they'll listen to you.
Exactly.
Which is super cool to be able to have that, right? So you can blend both things in and be able to help more people. So as you're doing this, like, how did you what helped you like not give up on it though? You know, because even if we have these dreams, right? Obviously you're not doing drugs now and drinking. But it doesn't mean this stuff happens overnight, right? Like, what helped you even on those days it felt like, maybe it's not going to happen like I think, or maybe it's not going to be what I think it is. Like, maybe I need to go a different direction. What helped you not give up?
Faith. I think because, man, there have been so many times where I've been just contemplating life. Like, am I making the right decision by making these sacrifices? Because if I really wanted to, I can go anywhere in the state and find a good job doing the recovery stuff, right? And I did do that. Like, after, like, I moved to Texas for a few months and I worked in treatment down there and I was totally okay. And then I got the call saying that they wanted to do a TV show. So I was like, okay, looks like I'm going back to LA. But honestly, I think it was just faith and keeping the right people in my circle, you know, people that are like have the same goals and the same kind of faith and the same passion for what we do. I think because I know, look, like the people that I have in my life, I know that if shit was to hit the fan for me and I just happened to lose everything and I'm still living with integrity and being a good person, they wouldn't let me just fucking, the people I have in my life wouldn't just let me fall and crumble. You know what I mean? They would hold me and pick me back up. So I think that's also important, is keeping the right people around you. But I think it's just like having the faith that if you just continue being a good person, being honest with yourself and everybody around you, and help people, things just work out no matter what. It's like this weird fucking magic that nobody can explain, but it's just as simple as being a good person and helping people, and things just come to you.
And were you always like that?
No.
Or where did you learn that?
No, I think being a program guy and understanding, like, just like I do, that we stay sober by helping other people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They say it's a very selfless program, but in reality, it's like very selfish, because like we're helping people because we want to stay sober.
Yeah, it feels so good.
Yeah, so I think, because I mean, before getting sober, I grew up, my mom was an addict, and I grew up with her saying, like, the world is very selfish, the world is out to get you, you can't trust anybody, you need to grind for yourself, don't let anybody in.
So that was your original program.
Yeah, and especially when drugs and alcohol came in the picture, you become very selfish, and you can't trust anybody because you're in that lifestyle, you know? So, yeah, and I didn't believe in a higher power. I was very against it, and nothing came to me except for darkness.
And why were you against it back then?
I think it was more of like, oh, poor me. Why me? If there was a God, why would my father die? If there was a God, why would my mother be an addict? If I was a God, blah, poor me, blah, 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 just playing the victim. And then it just, some things happened where I just had no explanation for it. And it was like I have multiple overdoses, right? And one of them, I overdosed in a car with the needle still in my arm in the parking lot of a hospital because my best friend just died. A stranger walks by, just happens to have Narcan on him, opens the door that happens to be unlocked, hits me with Narcan, gets me back to life, walks away without saying a word, and I try talking to him, and he just turns around, smiles, and just keeps walking, right? Whether you say that's coincidence, whether you say things happen for a reason, whatever the case may be, I believe that there's got to be something. Right. And this is still me in my deepest, darkest addiction times. Right. But things just keep happening that I have no explanation for. And then the moment that I do let go and finally have an open mind that there might be something, even more starts coming to my life.
So would you say that moment with the random guy, Narcan, was like the beginning of kind of like the open-mindedness to like, okay, there has to be something? Like,
I don't think that was the beginning, but after everything happened and looking back, I feel like that was like something showing me, even though I couldn't see it or I couldn't believe it, that like, look, like there has to be something, and again, this just as well as I do, we can't do this by ourselves. If we are closed-minded and think that we are the biggest thing, if I think that I'm the biggest thing, that means I'm ego tripping, that I'm fucking selfish, and we can't stay sober, we can't be successful, we can't help people living like that. You know what I mean? So it's like, I have to believe that whether it's God, whether it's the universe, whether it's love, whatever the case may be, there is something that is guiding me and giving me the strength to continue to help people and to continue doing what I love to do and to just be a good person. I think since getting sober, I believe in things happening for a reason. I believe that that love and kindness are the most powerful things out there. I used to believe everybody was evil, and look where it got me. It's like manifestation, you think everybody's evil, you're going to get darkness.
Yeah. So I always tell people, like, be careful what you believe in.
Yeah.
Because whether it's good or bad, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you've seen yourself create a terrible life. Yeah. Why? Because you believed you deserved one. Mm-hmm. You attract terrible people. Why? Because you say all people are terrible.
Yep.
And so, yeah, we have to be so careful with how we view things. And usually usually your belief system is the result of people's opinions that were around you.
For
Like you
sure.
said, right? Your mom says this and that. Well,
Yeah.
why? Well, when you're doing drugs,
Yeah.
people aren't trustworthy.
Yeah.
Everyone is probably out to get you, or you're paranoid, or you just bad experiences.
Yeah.
And I love that, because you were saying too, right? Like one of the biggest things for you were saying to help you not give up was having the right people around you. And I think that's so important, is having the right people around you.
Absolutely.
Especially like with the same purpose-driven goals, like you said too, right? Because you can have sober people for your sobriety, but when you want more than sobriety, then find people also who want more than sobriety in that specific way too,
For sure.
right? Because they get it. It's kind of like a creative person and a logical person.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hang out with the creative people.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because those are my people. Logical people, they don't understand the creative process and what it's like. I can't really break down how I do it. It's
Yeah.
just I feel it. It makes sense to me, and then it happens. A logical person will be like, "Well, no, there is a way. Like break it down. Like you're taking away all the joy from it." So I love that. Find the right people around you. So now, as you're sober, you were homeless before. You know, you're doing what you love, and what do you feel like you do now that you're becoming a believer? So when you get sober, you're open to God now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what was that journey like? Like, were you trying to read the Bible? Were you going to church? Was it AA? Was it certain books about spirituality? Like, what was it for you that was working?
I think being a program guy was the start of it. I think seeing the community in it and really seeing like, oh wow, people actually do give a shit and people are genuine and people just want to help. I think that was the start of it.
So seeing the love from people.
Yeah.
And do you feel like the concept of, you know, how it's so like meet people where they're at concept of like, hey, God of your understanding, do you feel like that was helpful too, to walk into something where you're like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like it's religion being shoved down my throat.
Yeah. Yeah. I think because in the beginning I had a hard time with it, you know. I was open-minded and willing, but I was still so fresh, you know what I mean? And not knowing, I mean, to be real, like I still had the intentions to get loaded down the line, but all this cool shit was happening really quick. And like I said, that was keeping me sober. And like in my head, I'm like, oh, this isn't gonna last forever. Like I'll get high later. But the opportunities, it was like a snowball effect. It just kept happening, and just all this cool shit just kept happening. And eventually, you know, I have a year sober. I'm still not working a program. I'm hitting meetings, but I'm not like really doing shit. And then I'm working in treatment. And then, you know, it's like I'm preaching to the guys, hey, you need to do this when I haven't done it yet,
Right.
you know? And at that point, my morals are starting to come back, and I start to feel bad that I'm preaching something that I haven't done yet. So that was kind of the stepping stone to like, okay, let me actually put in the work. What's the worst that could happen, right?
And do you feel like that's what it was for you, that kind of where you checked yourself? Like the first year you weren't really teaching it, so you kind of weren't being reminded of like, I'm just lying to these people, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And then you start teaching it, and then now because your moral compass is there, you're kind of like, damn,
Exactly.
okay.
Yeah.
So right. So now you're open to it. Okay, I'm gonna give it a shot.
Yeah. And maybe there was some fear involved too, of like actually putting in the work and dealing with trauma and like insecurities and character defects and stuff like that, and resentments, and but eventually, you know, it's just like I said, what's the worst that could happen? And it's been a year of like all this cool shit happening, and I'm like, okay, I want to keep this, right? And it's easy. I don't want to say it's easy, but putting down the drugs and alcohol and building a life, right? Keeping the life that you've built is the important part, right? And putting down the drugs and alcohol, that's the easiest part. It's the changing the behaviors, and changing your lifestyle, and changing the small white lies and the manipulation, and because that's all we've known. For me, it was over a decade, right? So that was the hard part. But I like to say that I love what I do this much more than getting loaded.
And I love that, because I think that's important for people. It's like, build a life that's worth not relapsing over.
For sure. Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. And when I finally started to do the work, it was like it was like a weight lifted off my shoulder. One, because like, okay, I finally got through it. Like it's an achievement. Two, it's like, okay, now I did what I'm preaching. And number three, it's like I was able to like start to love the person who I'm looking at in the mirror.
What part did you find the most healing for you from the steps? Like if it was like a specific thing, maybe on the 4th step, like what was something that for you was like really pivotal?
Yeah, I feel like the resentments, I had to let go of them, right? It was a lot towards my mom, and I was just so resentful for, you know, like how could she be doing heroin when I'm a baby, or like how could we grew up poor, or like we, you know, she could have done better. But after putting in the work and really um processing it, she did the best she could. She did what she knew how, right? And I think that took a lot of work to really like let go and forgive, right? And I think once I did that, and look, like my mom's still crazy. You know what I mean? I love her to death, but she's still crazy. But I have to love her from a distance because like she never really.
Is she sober now? Or she's still in it?
She's been on the methadone program for like 25 years, so she's not sticking needles in her arm, but she's not sober.
Yeah.
And she never went to the program. She never did anything like that. But so she never really did the work, you know, so she still has a skewed perception of life. So it's like when I go home to visit, it's like 2-3 days, and then I'm just like, whoa, like your negativity is like bleeding on me, and I just can't do that, you know.
Let me ask you this, and I love that I'm grateful you shared that, because I think sometimes people, you know, we forgive, right, because they did the best they can.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean because we change, we forgive, we have God, that they're gonna change.
Yeah.
Like you said, right?
Yeah.
So you're saying that you need to have like boundaries, it sounds
For
like.
sure.
You do make time, but like you said, like a couple days and I gotta go. What helps you not rebuild another resentment that she's still not changing? Like what is it for you that you have to do? 'Cause this is real for people. People think, you know what I mean? Like I see it happen. Oh yeah, everything's gonna change, and sometimes they never do.
I mean, look, dude, I'm not this perfect recovery guru that just like everything's peaches and cream and fucking life's fantastic, right? I build resentments every day from different situations, different people. And it's just, now that we know the tools and how to deal with it, it's almost like I get resentments for having resentments and having to go through the work because of these resentments. You know what I mean? It's like a fucking vicious cycle, but it's, you know, it's the only way for us to continue to live a good life, right? And I know that. So it's like I have to continue working these things every day, and it probably will be every day for the rest of my life. Instead of being upset with people or build resentments on people, I have to look at it as I just have to pray for these people, right? Like if somebody did me dirty, right, and I'm like, oh fuck this person, I'm like I want to be spiteful, I want revenge, right? And there has been situations like that, just like recent too, within the last year, where I've been like, dude, this person did me so dirty, I want to do them even dirtier,
10 times worse than that.
10 times worse, just to be spiteful or for revenge. And I go back and forth with it, like, oh, but I'm just not in the business of hurting people anymore. I can't. If I start to do that, that's old behaviors, which will eventually turn into me spiraling and going down the path that I don't want to go down. And then I start to lose everything.
And how do you do that? Because I think people still might think, well, if someone does you wrong, you still got to get them back. It's not fair, because that means they're getting away with it. Like, what do you tell yourself mentally in that moment? So, all right, obviously you know why you don't want the resentment, because it could lead you back to a drink. But what's the dialogue that you tell yourself to like just let it go?
Yeah. Karma. I believe in karma. I believe that the universe will give them theirs. And it's not like I'm like, oh yeah, the universe is gonna fuck them up, and I can't wait to see it.
You just understand how.
I just understand it, bro. I just know that it's just like how we were just talking about when we're deep in our darkest times, we're miserable, and we're hanging out with all these miserable people, and nothing but darkness comes to us. Right. So if you're doing people dirty, it's going to come back to you in some one way or another. Right. And I don't want to be a part of something bad happening to anybody. I don't want to be the reason for somebody getting hurt. I just can't do that. It would just like, it would eat me alive to like, maybe it would make me happy for fucking a day or two or a week or whatever, but eventually it would eat me alive, being like, dude, why did I do that?
Yeah.
And I just, I say it all the time. I'm just not in the business of hurting people anymore. I did that for over a decade, where I just hurt a lot of people and nothing good came from it.
And that's huge. I think a lot of people need to really take that like as some wisdom, because I've had people that you say like, you're screw me over. And oh man, first thing I want to do is let people know what they did.
Yeah.
Right. And then hold back. Like, cause you said, they bring it to me. It's not just, I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
They're probably doing it to a lot of people. I'm not that special.
Yeah.
And then you start to hear stories.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was right. It is multiple people. And then, you start to see things. And then there's even times where, oh, guess what? So-and-so's coming to this and that. And it's that person. And I go, I want to say something so bad. I'm like, oh, that's super cool. And then at the process, should I tell them? You know what? I don't want to even I don't want to get myself in that mess.
Yeah.
I'll let them learn. And then you start to see things happening. So yeah, I think it's so true, right? Karma is real.
Mm-hmm.
When people screw you over, they're screwing a lot of people over. It's almost like, hey, you don't have to punch him. Someone else will punch him for you one day.
Yeah, exactly. And I just don't want to be a part of negativity or drama or stress, right? Like, I have enough stress in my life, it's like I have a lot of stress in my life, but it's good stress. It's like quality problems.
Yeah, let's talk about that. What if somebody's like, what does he mean good stress, quality problems? Like, what does that mean?
I was just about to like sound like a fucking douchebag, but I was be like, oh, the bracelet of my Rolex broke. You know what I mean? Like,
I got the wrong color Maserati.
Yeah, it's like shit like that. It's I mean that like that's douchey, but but it's like, oh, I have to my rent's due, or like, oh shit. I have to be at this shoot at a certain time, but I have another shoot, or it's like it's just life on life's terms, or like, oh shit, the fucking tire on my motorcycle's flat. Oh, boo fucking who? You know what I mean? It's like that's life. And the reason why I say quality problems is because my problems now are fucking 10 times better than the problems that I had back in the day. My problems back in the day were, I need to figure out who I'm stealing from so I can get high so I won't be dope sick. I need to figure out what store I'm robbing from so I can get high so I won't be dope sick. It's that, it's like, I need to figure out how I'm not going to be dope sick waking up in the morning. Those were my problems back then. Or the cops, it's like, oh, every time I see a cop, I'm fucking, like, fuck the cops. That was me, but now it's just like, oh shit, I have to do this podcast, right? Oh, poor me, right? But it's like, it's quality problems that I'm grateful that I have these problems today than the problems I had back then.
Yeah, what do you do to kind of like get yourself back in gratitude? Like, what's your practice look like when you start finding yourself complaining about your quality problems?
Yeah. So there's a couple things. I have an office in my apartment, and my office is just surrounded by like all my achievements, right? And it's like pictures of people that I worked with, or stunts that I've done that I've just like I'm so super proud of, or just mementos, like memorabilia just from the last 8 years of my life, that like little trinkets that like remind me of that time, right? I just look at all that. I sometimes I'll just sit in the office, I'll smoke my vape, I'll drink a coffee, and I'll just like look at my walls. That's one of the things. Another thing is I like to reminisce on the past, right? Like I have hard drives filled with all my old footage from back in like the early 2000s. And it's like, I'm doing exactly what I'm doing today, except I'm 13 years old, just having fun. Right. And that's why I said earlier, like the beginning of the podcast, like my 13-year-old self would be stoked of what I'm doing right now, because I'm literally doing the same fucking things.
Crazy.
Except I'm pushing 40 and doing it with the people. Like, dude, I found all these old tapes, and I would make these videos together, and I'd put them on VHS, and I would sell them, and I'd sell them in high school. And the rolling credits at the end, because I'm 13 years old, I don't know how to make rolling credits, you know?
Were you editing these videos too?
Yeah.
We using like Windows Movie Maker or
I
Sony?
couldn't even tell you, dude.
Yeah.
This is like ninth grade in multimedia class.
Yeah, I
You know,
remember that, yeah.
and my rolling credits would literally be, I would write them on a piece of paper and I would just hold the paper in front of the camera and I would just go like this.
Yeah,
Right. And my
yeah.
rolling credits would literally say, special thanks to Steve-O, special thanks to Bam Margera, special thanks to John
Oh,
Knoxville,
that's
special
cool.
thanks to all these people in that world. And like all those people that I had on that piece of paper, it's like they're all my boys now.
It's crazy.
You know, so it's like it's shit like that, like reminiscing on the past and like seeing old friends and like it's very easy to forget how bad it was, right? It's easy to forget that and be fucking like these quality problems, right? And it's easy to forget how bad it was. So it's I have to live in gratitude every day. I have to. And I think it's just reminding myself and like staying grounded and humble, right? And like what works for me is meditation, right? Like I'll sit and I'll meditate for a few minutes and I'll just breathe and relax and calm my fucking self down, because like I'm an overthinker. My brain moves a million miles per hour. I stress out. I'm just like, dude, what the fuck am I gonna do? And it's just like once I ground myself, I remind myself like I'm here for a reason. I have this life for a reason. I'm good at what I do. I enjoy what I do. I have all these beautiful things in my life. I have all these beautiful people in my life. Just relax. You know, everything's going to be okay. And then 12 hours later, I'm doing the same thing. You know, I'm fucking back in it. You know, but that's just like my fucking my alcoholic brain.
Yeah,
and you know what I mean.
And I love that you share that, because I think a lot of times people don't share how it really looks like. It's like, this is what I do, and then I'm back in gratitude, and then people think like, okay, so if I do that, then I'm going to be good for a long time. You just said 12 hours later, I'm back in it.
Dude, sometimes it's 3 hours later. You know what I mean? It's like my brain just goes a million miles per hour with everything, and it's like fuck, dude. And not even just stressing about life and future tripping or dwelling on the past. It's like real insecurities, right? It's like insecurities that I've been dealt with my whole life, like insecurities of like not being good enough, or insecure about my body, or insecure about like whether people like me or not, right? It's like I still deal with those insecurities today.
So even though you have what people would see as the dream life, right? You're with your dream people, you're still battling though as, am I good enough? How do I look? And all that stuff.
100%.
Why do you think being in your dream life, it doesn't remove those things completely? Because some people think that, right? I know when I'm here, like I'm for sure going to be the most confident, the most, whatever.
Yeah.
Why do you think even having that doesn't remove the problem completely for you?
I think because, look, I've been dealing with these insecurities my whole life. The fear of not being good enough, the fear of not being liked. And I think that has to do with me being an attention whore so much, is because I crave attention. I need attention. I need to feel validated. I need to feel liked, right?
Why is it so important, you think, to be liked to that degree for you?
Because it makes me feel like I'm good. It makes me feel like I'm important. You know, I think, and that's not healthy.
Right.
You know, that's not healthy at all. And I feel like people, whether it's like comics or entertainers or
actors,
actors,
athletes. I
mean, you know what I mean. It's like we all need to be liked in a certain way, and for me, I can only speak for myself, but it stems from childhood shit, right? And whether because like my father passed when I was 2, so I didn't have a male figure in my life. My mom was addicted to drugs. She still worked a full-time fucking job while she was on drugs. So I was pretty much raised by my father's parents, right? While my mom was at work. So it's like I didn't really have that family vibe, right? I didn't really have the family, and I craved it. I didn't have the father to fucking teach me how to throw a football. I didn't have the father to like teach me about sex. It was my mom that really taught me about sex, and that's fucking awkward. It's like it's like, and so I think these insecurities that I still deal with them today, dude. They've always stemmed, or the insecure about my body, right? I was always the fat kid growing up. I was always big. So when I was younger, it was hard for me to get girls at a young age, right? Or I was afraid to pursue a girl because I was afraid of rejection, right? Because I'm like already in my head, like, oh, that she's not gonna like me because I'm fat, right? Those insecurities just grew with me as I got older. Do I know how to handle them differently and process them differently now? Yeah, of course, because we've put in the work and we know what works and we have those tools now. But it's not like all of a sudden you put in the work and they just disappear.
Yeah.
No, they're gonna bleed into my life every once in a while, and they do, and especially like for an example, and now I can talk about it because it's completely done with. My divorce is finally final, right? Like 2 days ago, completely over, thank God. But like when my ex-wife left me, we had just gotten married 4 months before she left me, right? We get married. I go after a few weeks after I get married, I go on tour. The day I get back from tour, she leaves me because she says she's unhappy. To me, because of my insecurities and because of my alcoholic brain, I immediately go to, I'm not good enough. Why would anybody leave me just after 4 months with, oh, okay, you're not happy? I understand that you're not happy, but we're married. Let's work on it, right? So my brain is like, I must be a piece of shit.
It must not be worth
I
working
must,
on
I'm,
it.
yeah, I must not be worth working on it with.
Yeah.
I don't deserve love. So my insecurities start coming back again, right?
And how was that? How much time sober did you have at this point?
6 years.
So 6 years sober. You're living your dream life in many ways.
Yeah.
And now you just get married. 4 months after she leaves you, and
Yeah.
now all those negative thoughts are coming back, right?
Yeah.
How did that affect you? Even though you had 6 years sobriety, even
Yeah.
though you're living your dream life, how did that affect you?
Oh, bro, that fucked me up.
Yeah.
That fucked me up. And this sobriety has been genuinely easy for the most part, right? Each year, it was like a win, a huge win every year. First year was a win. Second one was a bigger win. Third year was an even bigger win. It just kept leveling up, right? I didn't really have many trials and tribulations and
Yeah,
crazy failures.
Life didn't get lifey yet for you.
Life didn't get lifey yet. So I didn't really, I haven't really experienced like a gnarly failure or a gnarly loss yet. And then I found find the girl of my dreams. And then holy shit, I'm fucking getting married. Life is just fucking getting crazy.
Right,
Like,
another year again. Here you go.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
it's just like it was just like one crazy thing after another. All these really high highs, and I haven't experienced any low lows yet. And when this happened, it was like, what the fuck? It was like somebody died, right? It was like I had genuinely had to grieve what I had lost, which was, I thought, the girl who I was going to spend the rest of my life with, right? Because I grew up with my grandparents, like I was telling you, very old school, traditional Italian people, barely speak English. My grandfather always used to tell me, when you find your queen, you fucking hold on to her. You don't let her go. You're the breadwinner. She stays home, takes care of the house, takes care of the kids. And no matter how bad it gets, you make it fucking work. That's traditional Italian families, right? So that's how I was raised. Like, if you get married, you keep that, you keep her. That's your queen until the both of you fucking die. So when this happens to me, I'm like, I really must be a piece of shit. And I locked myself in my apartment for fucking 40 days.
40 days.
40 fucking days.
What was that like?
And just spiraled, bro. And just spiraled. After getting through it, I feel like I needed to do that. I needed to feel those emotions, to grieve it, to process it. I feel like if I was to get back into life, I would just be masking everything, just keeping myself busy so I wouldn't think about it, you know? But dude, that month of me just locking myself in my apartment, it was some of the hardest things I've had to deal with in my whole life. My whole fucking life.
What was coming up for you? Like, what were you having to process in those 40 days?
Every I was just thinking of like, why, right? Like every possible reason of like, oh, maybe she cheated on me, or oh, maybe this, maybe that, maybe this, and I'm just trying to, I'm just like trying to
Trying to
figure
make
it out,
sense of it,
trying to
right?
make fucking sense of it because
Yeah.
it didn't make sense,
Yeah.
right? And then eventually it's just like I don't need to make sense of it. I don't, because I'll spend the next 20 years of my life trying to make sense of it, because Lord knows she's not gonna fucking tell me. You know what I mean? And the worst part about it was like I didn't hear back from her. She left my place, left all of her shit, and I didn't hear from her for fucking 7 months.
Oh, jeez.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's like
it's just straight you're in your head, trying to figure out
in my
what's
fucking
happening and all
head.
that, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh, she left her shit here. Maybe she'll be back.
Oh, that's the worst.
You know what I mean?
Look at the phone,
Yeah.
text, call.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Or like checking my story views
yeah.
to see if she's watching my stories.
Yeah.
You know what I
Other
mean?
people's pictures. She's there.
Yeah.
There, driving her. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just driving me fucking batshit crazy.
Yeah.
And it was affecting because like I still have to work, right? So I'm still doing the podcast with Steve. So I have to fucking, I have to, as soon as the cameras turn on, I have to smile and be funny and make people laugh.
Was it easy for you to do that? Or
it was kind of easy. I'm pretty good at like turning it on and turning it off.
Okay.
Right. Like I look at what we do, yes, it's a job.
Yeah.
I'm grateful it's a job that I love to do, but I know it's like, okay, cameras are on. Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, dude, it was affecting everything. It was just like, and I was miserable. And it took almost a year for me to like really almost like just really snap out of it. And am I 100% healed? Fuck no. Will I ever be healed? Probably not. That was one of the gnarliest experiences of my whole life.
Would you say that's probably the closest you got to relapsing? Like
I
moments?
wouldn't say that I was close to relapsing. I would be lying if I didn't like one of the days where I was just like crying in bed, and after days of crying where I was just like, oh, I wish I could just have a 12 case of beer and just drink myself to sleep so I could fucking not be crying all night. Mm-hmm. But that thought just went away really quick. Cool. It was more like I would never let a girl make me relapse. You know what I mean? Like that, like, or anything. I would never let anything make me relapse because I know that I never want to go back and my life is too special today. But that situation was one of the gnarliest situations I've ever had to deal with in my life.
What do you now looking back, what do you feel like the lesson in that was for you? Because like you said, everything happens for a reason, right? That's your belief with God, right?
Yeah.
If you have, right, now that you can look back and connect the dots, why do you feel like God allowed that to happen?
I'm still trying to figure that out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good,
yeah. I don't even know if I'm trying to figure it out. Did I learn some shit? Yeah, of course I learned some stuff from it. But I also, it also has screwed my thinking a little bit, It really, now I have a hard time trusting people.
In general, or when it comes to dating?
In general.
In general,
yeah. Especially when it comes to women, and it really hindered me from, like if somebody would be like, hey man, would you come on my podcast? Nah, I'm good. Nah, you want to come to this charity event? Nah, I'm good. When I know like I should be doing absolutely everything because networking and is super important for what we do. But I was just like, nah, I'm good. Like I was just skating through life, just existing, just like doing what I was already doing. And I lost that hunger for life again because of what happened. And I'm not blaming her. I don't want to throw shade on her or talk bad about anybody. I can only speak my truth and how I felt, and it fucked me up. It really fucked me up. It was like, I don't think I've ever cried that much in my whole life. Like genuine fucking tears, just trying to figure out what the fuck just happened.
And it makes sense, right? I think when we get sober, we think life's gonna get just good, and it's not. But some of us have those, like, it's almost like we have a pink cloud for years type of thing, where it's like our life's like a movie, and every year it's better and better. We're leveling up, And what you realize is you don't have any skin in the game of going through hardship sober. And then when it
Yeah.
happens, we start to see like,
Yeah.
right, let's see how emotionally strong we are.
Yeah.
And it just screws us up.
Yeah, for sure. And I think you know how I was saying before, like I never had that family, and I always
Mhm.
craved that family. You know, it's just like when I met her,
I thought you were having
I got that.
taste
Like
of
her
it.
family
Yeah.
became my family. Her sister became my sister-in-law. Her mother and dad became my in-laws, and I was starting to get that family vibe that I never had, and I always craved.
That's probably why it hurt even too, right? You
Dude,
became vulnerable, right?
so you know, and never mind did she leave me and not talk to me for 7 months, just completely block me on everything. Her family just unfollows me and blocks me on everything. And it's just like, what did I do? What did I do? 4 months ago, we just got married. Like we just had all these people come see us get married. And then on top of it, now that it's like I feel embarrassed because like I have all these people come to my wedding from all over the country, and it's just like to see me do this because I think it's the person I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. And then 4 months go by, and it's gone to shit.
Having to deal with all those conversations.
Yeah,
Hey, Benny,
yeah.
well,
And then
that.
and then you start having the conversations, and people start saying, "Oh, I knew it wasn't a good idea.
Oh,
I knew she wasn't the right one for you."
how did that make you feel? Were you
Bro,
like,
fuck you. Fuck you. How dare you say that? That was the love of my life. I fucking loved her. If I didn't love her like that, I wouldn't have asked her to marry me in front of the fucking Eiffel Tower. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't care. I don't care if you're my best friend. Like, I genuinely thought that this was going to be my person, right? If you were my best friend, you should have fucking told me that before everything.
so that's what it was for you, more like that, right?
Yeah.
Now you're telling me?
Yeah, now you're telling
my
me.
boy. So
And then they go and say, well, like, I wanted you to be happy. I wanted you to do you know what I mean? It's like, no, dude.
yeah, a real friend will tell you how it is.
Yes.
Even if we don't like it.
Yes.
If we respect them.
Yes.
We might actually reflect.
Yes.
And there's a lot of times you see that happen where it's like situations like that. Like, well, why didn't you say anything?
Yeah.
Well, I just, I knew you wanted to be happy. It's like, yeah, but that would have saved me a lot of trouble. Maybe
Yeah.
you would have helped me out with something. I might not liked it, but now look what's happening.
Yeah. So did I learn anything from it? Yes, I learned some things. I learned some things about myself. Mm-hmm. I learned some things of what I truly want and what I truly look for in somebody. And have I found out why it happened? No. And I don't know if I really care anymore of why it happened. What was the bigger picture? What is it preparing me for the future? Maybe I'll find that out when the time comes. Yeah. Maybe something in my life will happen where I'll be like, oh, that's why.
Yeah, I think once you are married and you have your family and you're happy, you're like, I get it.
Yeah.
This had to happen for this. But, I think it takes time sometimes for specific things for us to understand why.
Yeah.
It's just what it is, right?
100%. And like, bro, it's never mind. Is it difficult for me to get vulnerable with like, never mind somebody who I consider my person, right? Like it's difficult for me to get vulnerable, but now it's even more difficult for me to get vulnerable with whoever is going to be my significant other.
Oh, I bet.
Because it's just like, oh, this is, this isn't going to, she's probably going to leave too.
Especially I think what messes with your head too is we start to not be able to trust ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
self-sabotage.
Yeah, like I'm happy, but what happens if I'm wrong? Or what happens if I'm not seeing something?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Or it's like, oh, something's going to happen, so I'm just going to be 1 foot in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'll be talking to someone else just in case.
Yeah,
why not?
exactly.
I don't really care because I have this.
Exactly.
So yeah, so before we get to the final speed questions, how do you, and not just not for dating, but just in relationships, right? Because without trust, you have no friendships, right?
Yeah.
How are you managing now? Like, okay, yes, I got hurt really bad, and I feel like I have a hard time trusting people more now. But also, I know I have to be able to trust people to actually have like genuine relationships.
Yeah.
How did you manage to kind of like allow yourself to trust again when it comes to like friendships and people?
I think that just comes down to faith again. I think it's just giving people chances, and I don't know, man. I think now that I've done some more work on myself and processed everything, and months of therapy, and diving headfirst into what I know what works best, and just for me, it just happens to be the program and helping people, right? Like the more I can get out of my own head and help somebody else, I feel better, right? I think it's like I told myself, I was like, okay, if I get asked to do something, I have to say yes. Like I can't say no to things anymore. And since doing that, more opportunities have come to me, right? And like meeting you and meeting all these other people that I've been working with recently. It's like none of this would be happening right now if I didn't tell myself, like, okay, I just need to say yes to everything, and whatever comes from it, I can't be mad. It's just me just trying to be a good person, let people in my life, help people in the process, and just try to entertain people, make people laugh. I just want life to be fun, and I just want to make people laugh. Deep down, I'm an attention whore.
Yeah.
Deep down, I just wanna be the center of attention. But I genuinely like to make people laugh, and I love to have fun, and I love to do stupid stuff and silly stuff, and and be a kid, and I think it just comes down to faith, really. I think and just being open-minded and willing. And if somebody betrays my trust again, it's just like, okay, see you later. I gave you a shot. Okay, later. It's cool. No bad blood. Just like I know I'm a good person. I'll pray for you. That kind of thing.
No, I love that. And yeah, I think that's beautiful, right? Again, coming down to faith, giving people chances. Not everybody's bad.
Yeah.
But also we still need to trust slowly,
Mm-hmm.
right? Trust is earned. It's not given.
Yeah.
And I think it's better to trust slowly, which is powerful. And so, like I said, for one, I'm going to bring you on for multiple episodes for sure. Because
yeah, for sure. I like that structure of like multiple episodes. So you really dive in deeper each time. I like that.
So it's not forced between what we're talking about. You know what I mean? Because there's so much we can talk about. So it's not forced, very surface, or where it sounds so, okay, cool. And then what happened? And then, okay, now let's go to when you're da-da-da, da-da-da. So for this final 4 questions, what we do, they're speed questions, right? So
cool.
quick answers. And my first one is, what are 3 books you would recommend to somebody that can completely change their life?
To be honest, bro, I don't read much.
Yeah, I love that.
I don't read much. I've done a few audiobooks, but my brain is too I lose interest very quick. And I think it's like maybe some sort of learning disability, to be honest. I honestly do think that. Even as a kid in school, I could never, I couldn't obtain the information. Like I'll read something and the information will fucking leave my brain.
So for like what, ADHD probably?
Yeah,
ADHD,
probably. I've never been diagnosed.
Yeah.
But I tried to because obviously I want to start businesses and do all that. So like Think and Grow Rich. I was an audiobook. The Power of No.
Power of Now.
Power of Now.
Yeah, totally.
It was the audiobook that I listened to. And I think that's really it, dude. I think even audiobooks are hard, dude. It's just like because you got to really fucking listen and pay attention, dude, and it's just like my brain is, like I said, my brain's just going. It's hard for me.
No, I love that answer though, because that's the first version of that. It's so honest though. You're like, I struggle.
Yeah.
I've tried this, listen to this, listen to that, but it's cool, right? It's like, but look, you're still doing amazing things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're still learning in different ways, not just from reading.
Yeah.
Or at least you're trying to, but you're still open to like taking information.
It's so funny that was the first question, because like we had an episode, we had Mod's son on the podcast, and like Steve and the boys were talking about like what books that they've read, and then Steve's just like, all right, dude, like Vinny, what book really changed your life? And I was just like, bro, I don't read. You know what I mean? Like, and everybody starts dying laughing, and it's just like. It's that, yeah, dude, that's funny, man. Yeah, it sucks. I mean, I wish like I have tons of books in my room too, because like I really do.
So it looks like you read, right?
Yeah, it looks like dude, I swear to fucking God, I have a shelf in my bedroom with all these books that like Steve gave me or Scott gave me, like all my boys gave me, like, here, dude, read this, like it'll really help you. Yeah. And I'm like, oh yeah, dude, I totally will, and I'll just throw it on the shelf.
Like self-help, it's a shelf help.
Yeah, right? Yeah, exactly.
I love
that's
that.
funny, dude.
My next question is, what was one mindset shift that completely changed your life?
That not everybody's evil.
Mm,
That love exists. Yep.
I love that. And then, what is the worst piece of advice someone's ever given you?
The worst piece of advice. um, Probably like my mom teaching me how to sell drugs. She bought me an ounce of weed. She's like, okay, if you bag it up in grams, you'll be able to smoke for free and then make some money on top. Like, but like that's also, you know, like I said before, it's like that's all she knew at the time, and like she also gave me that hustler mentality of like you got to go out and get it, you know.
So there was a
Um,
blessing in disguise.
Blessing in
there.
disguise,
Yeah.
yeah. But like, I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to think about that.
It's a good one, though,
Yeah,
right? Because normally we
yeah,
always know, like, what's a good piece of advice?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Anything's possible.
yeah,
You
yeah,
do it
yeah.
worse. Yeah, I know, like, for me, my worst one was, like, you need to tone down who you are. Like, you're being too much.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think that was because, again, I already, I'm not good enough. So, they must be
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah,
So I need to, like, dude, I tried wearing suits. I tried reading the newspaper.
yeah.
I tried being the person that like goes to specific types of like places to hang out. Like because I thought like that's what you got to do. And
Yeah.
dude, it's just I hated it, but
That's
I
a
thought
good
I
one.
had to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then for the final one, let's say you have somebody right now struggling, struggling in addiction, or no, let's do this. Someone that's struggling, newly sober, and they have these big dreams.
Mm.
But they're like, I don't think I can do that. Like, I know I want to do this, but it's very childlike. It's very a big dream. Everyone's telling me it's not possible. What would you want to say to that kid if you had 1 minute to share some wisdom with him?
It's simple, man. It's just do it. If it makes you happy, then do it. It's as simple as that. If you're lucky enough to know what you love to do already, because a lot of people don't know what their passions are or what they're, you know, what they love to do, you know. So if you already know that, if you already know what you want to do, you're already a step ahead, right? So it's just a matter of just doing it. The more time you waste is just it's like you're failing already, right? So it's basically just like not giving a fuck what people think and just do it. It's don't worry about being judged. You're not that important. You know what I mean? Like nobody's like really thinking about you like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's just do it. It's stop giving a fuck. As simple as that.
No, I love that. I think it's so true, right? Because if you care what people think, then you're never going to be happy.
Oh, bro, if I cared about, and look, I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't 100%.
Right.
You know, of course. You know, but if I genuinely cared and gave a fuck what people thought about me, I would never be making the content that I do. You know what I mean? The content that I make is fucking stupid. You know what I mean? Like, and my comment section shows it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's, I don't give a fuck. You know, it's like, as long as I'm happy, as long as I'm happy, as long as the people around me are happy, that's all I give a fuck about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's it. So it's just do it. Whether it's you want to be a fucking doctor, or you want to fucking make content, or you want to like start a charity, or what you want to help people. It's literally you just do it. That's it. And if you already know what you want to do, you're already fucking 10 steps ahead.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's such a beautiful advice for whoever's listening. It really is just, it's not about removing the feelings of not caring what people think. It's about doing it anyways, even when you do care. Just do it.
Yeah. And yeah, of course, there's a lot of fear with that. Yeah. Look, I deal with fucking all these fears every day of my fucking life, dude. And if I allowed these fears to fucking cripple me and make me curl up in a fucking ball and not go out and try to achieve goals, it's just like, then what's the fucking point? Like, why am I here? Like, why did I even get sober? Why am I doing anything that I'm doing? It's like, no, I just want to. I think it just boils down to what we said in the beginning, the inner child. It's just like, I want to make my inner child happy. Because our inner childs, those are the innocent. Like we're innocent child. Like and I just want to make that child happy. Really.
I love that. Well, hey, Vinny, I just want to say thank you so much for being here, taking the time from your
Yeah,
busy
dude.
schedule to share with us. I know a lot of people are going to be able to, find hope in your story, relatability.
Yeah, I hope so.
And so if people want to, what do you got going on that people could check out? Where can people reach you?
Um, you can reach me on Instagram. That's the best way. It's just at Skinny Vinny. We got I got some projects that I'm working on. Can't really say much about some of them,
Yeah, it's gonna be a good
And
one.
then I created this sketch comedy TV show as well, and we just got accepted into some film festivals, so that's exciting. And yeah, man, it's just I enjoy the process of creating. I enjoy the process of making shit, and that's what makes me happy, and that's what keeps my brain going. And if people enjoy it, then that's just a plus.
Mm,
And if I get paid from it, that's an even bigger plus. But that's not. I just do it because it genuinely makes me happy.
I love that.
Yeah,
Well, yeah. Well, thank you again, and until the next one.
of course. Fuck yeah.